shalom b'Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emeru amen. Oseh shalom b'Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emeru amen. Oseh shalom b'Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emeru amen. Oseh shalom b'Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emeru amen. Ve'emeru
Amen.
He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God make you good mothers and may He send you husbands who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God make you good mothers and wives. May He send you husbands who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Here I am. So wonderful to see you and to welcome our cantorial soloist for today, Rose Snitz, who is here. I see our meeting is streaming live on YouTube, but I don't see that you and I are up, Rose. Let's see, just double checking that everything is working correctly. Here we go. Excellent. Everything is working correctly. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. It's
Welcome.
so sweet to be here.
Yeah, welcome to Beit Aviv. It's lovely to have you. We are going to begin our service with a song of welcome, how good it is to be together on this day. This is a melody many of our congregants know from being with Kol Nefesh, the congregation that we nurture, and I'm so happy you will be sharing it with us. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im.
And how sweet it is to be here with you. Shalom
how good it is to have you here, Rose. We begin our Shabbat service not just with words of welcome, but also with candle lighting.
These lights we kindle are a symbol of joy. May their brightness lift our spirits and fill our hearts with happiness and peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
We sing the candle blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing with me, I know you are. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. The earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. We will sing unto God a new song. We will sing unto God a new song.
I am more than ready this week to welcome the Shabbat bride. It's been one of those weeks when I need Shabbos. I need the bride to walk through that door, Lachadodi. Rise, or rise in your heart.
בואי לשלום עטרת בלט, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלל, בואי חלל. לך דודי לקראת גלה, לפני שבת בקבלה. 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 יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא יברח רעותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קרי ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ועולמיה. יתברך, יתברך, וישתבח, ויתפאר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו. לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמים ועלמא, ויאמרו אמן.
This week has been full of noise and so much discontent. Our eyes have turned to the television and turned to the radio and papers, and we've been riveted by history unraveling before us. Here we are at Shabbat, the time God has given us to take a breath, to breathe, a respite, a stop, a time to figure things out, to reflect on the meaning of our lives, to reflect on the meaning of our country's life, to reflect on the meaning of this world. That's what we need. Some silence, some reflection before we enter into prayer. Please rise or rise in your heart.
Yai,
As we enter into the Shema and her blessings, you'll note that Rose and I have chosen to focus on many Debbie Friedman tunes. We use these melodies because it is the 10th Yortzeit of our teacher, and her gifts of Jewish music have changed our world in the way we think about prayer. She turned us towards God's miracles with her melodies. There was silence, there was chaos, there was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds. Now order reigns where chaos once held sway. Evening falls, dawn arrives. The moon follows accustomed paths, constellations their patterned ways. Sovereign is the will that orders the stars in their courses in endless skies. Sovereign is that will. Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alkin Adonai Eloheinu b'shochtenu, u'leinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, be'orach yameinu. ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Le'olam, Le'olam Va'ed. Before we go into Ve'ahavta, I was talking to Stephanie this morning, and she mentioned to me how sacred and special these words that I changed, I didn't really change them, are to you. And on this 10th anniversary of Debbie's yard site, which is tomorrow, I said, let's pay tribute to the words that she wrote. So we'll adjust together. And thou shalt love Adonai. Let's try that again. Which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorpost of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
The Israelites walked into the Red Sea 1 foot at a time. What were they thinking about as the water rose up their legs, chilling their hearts, advancing towards their open mouths? We continue to walk here now, 1 foot at a time. On our better days, forward. Alone, I cannot reach the far shore without drowning. Somehow, I don't go under. The person to my right holds me up, and sometimes I cannot see what holds him up. Blessed is the source of help, so often unexpected. I step forward. The sea is vast. Blessed are you, gracious one, for your miracles that greet us every day.
Let's start with a nice little nigun. Ya la la.
Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence, we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We invite you to rise in your heart, or just sit a little straighter in your chair as we begin the tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imaot, Mevi Gula Lifnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai. Mechayeh hakol atah rav le'oshiach. I lost my spot. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed. Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato lisheni afar micha mocha ba'al gevurot umido melech memid umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'nemanata lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu hasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please feel free to be seated or to relax in your chair. So Rose, what are you thankful for this week? It's been a hard week to find things to be thankful for. So much going on, right? But there are things to be thankful for, which is fabulous. Anything special that you are thankful for this week?
I am especially grateful that I get to have small children present in my life and receiving their love and their hugs and their funny little jokes. I'm extremely grateful for that.
I am so grateful for the love of my husband, who has sustained me this week as I have gone through the ups and the downs of life around us, who has accompanied me on long walks in nature, and for the greenery. Even with the deciduous trees, we have greenery in our development, and being able to appreciate the red berries on the trees and the birds flying through the labyrinth of all the different leaves. It has been balm for me as I've walked through my week. I hope in your week that you have found something that you are grateful for as well. And please take a moment to say one or two things out loud to yourself. modim אנחנו לך.
Modim, modim, modim. Modim אנחנו לך. Modim אנחנו לך. Thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modim אנחנו לך. Modim אנחנו לך. Modim אנחנו לך. We thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modim אנחנו לך. Let's say this gratitude phase for just one more time. Modim אנחנו לך. Modim אנחנו לך. Thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modim אנחנו לך.
Take some time for silent prayer before we pray for peace, peace, shalom, wholeness.
Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, ve'imeru. Amen.
We continue our service with Seder Kriyat Torah. Excuse me, both Chris and I are having a little allergy problems here. Both in Brooklyn and in Reisterstown, right?
Yes.
We continue with Seder Kriyat Torah. Feel free to rise, to dance a little bit as we welcome Torah into our lives.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Feel free to be seated.
My friends, I'd like to invite you
to say the blessing for studying Torah with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. The words of Torah that we are going to soak ourselves in on this Shabbat is the beginning of the book of Exodus, Parashat Shemot. Ve'ele Shemot b'nei Israel haba'im Mitzrayma. These are the names of the children of Israel that went down to Egypt. Et Yaakov ish ubeto ba'u. Along with Jacob, each of these people and their household came. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zebulun, Uvinyamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. There was Reuven, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Yisachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. V'hi kol nefesh yitzei yerech Yaakov shiv'im nefesh. And the number of souls that were descendants from Jacob were 70 souls. V'Yosef haya b'Mitzrayim, and Joseph was already in Egypt. V'yamot Yosef v'chol achiv v'chol hador hahu. And Joseph died, and all of his brothers, and all of that generation. Uvnei Israel pu v'yishratzu v'yibu v'yatzmu b'me'od me'od. And the children of Israel increased and became great in number, and they multiplied, and they became many individuals until they were very, very great. V'timalu ha'aretz otam, and they filled up that land. V'yakom melech hadash al Mitzrayim, and there arose a new king over Egypt, asher lo yada et Yosef, that did not know Joseph. V'yome el Amor, and he said to his people, Hine am b'nei Israel rav va'atzum. There is this people, Israel, who are great and who are many. We continue with our Mishaberach, our prayers for healing, healing of body, healing of soul. On this Shabbat, I've been asked to share the names of Joan Moskowitz and Chazan Robert Michael Esformes. But I know that you have names that you also wish to pray for. So we're going to give you a few moments to say those names out loud before we sing the beautiful Mishaberach written by Debbie Friedman.
Ahavat Olam
Baruch atah Adonai. Blessed are you, Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim, healer of those who are in need of healing. We take this moment when our hearts were open to Torah and God was open to our prayers, to put these moments aside, returning our Torah spiritually to our ark.
It's chaim chil machazikim ba v'tzom lecha meushat derachecha darchei noam v'chol tzivotzecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kaddish Kaddish Yameinu Kaddish Yameinu kekedem.
Let me stop my share and unspotlight your video. Try that. It's not letting me remove the spotlight. There we go. Nope. Rose, you're always going to be there for me. You might be the one seen throughout my sermon. We'll see. We enter Parashat Shemot into a Torah portion filled with uncertainty. We were once the darlings of Egypt, of Mitzrayim, the relatives of Joseph, the hero who saved our country from famine. And then there arose a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. And bit by bit by bit, the world we knew, our fortunate lives in Egypt, our understandings of how the world operated around us was pulled, nay, wrenched apart, unraveling into a place that we no longer recognized. One day we woke up, looked around us. Our lives were not as they were before. Taskmasters were set over us, forced labor, back-breaking work of mortar and bricks and all sorts of tasks of the field became our lot. We were forced to create fort cities named Pitom and Ramses. Our midwives were told to kill our newborn infant sons. This was not the Mitzrayim we knew. This was not the home we had adopted as our own, the country we loved, where we had lived for 430 years in peace and prosperity. This week, that discombobulation of our Torah portion mirrors our own state of confusion as a country. What we watched happen on January 6th, the act of sedition, the attempted coup, the uncalled for deaths and injured, the brandishing of weapons, is not the America we know, the United States we recognize. What we watched happen on January 6th is not something that we can unsee or turn our back upon, or that will go away quickly. Forever etched in our memories will be the angry mob, the smashing of windows, blood-splattered statues, the Confederate flag in hallowed halls, offices occupied and trashed. We reel and flail and tremble for what was inflicted upon elected officials and their staffs, who are only doing the work of the Republic, ratifying a new president for us. Our hearts break for the workers and the police officers in this people's house who were traumatized. And we sit, devastated ourselves, wrestling with emotions of seeing the desecration on our screens. Whether we agree or not with the results of our election, we know in our hearts and in our minds that the call by our president to march on our democratic institution, this was sedition. This was insurrection. Whether we agree or not with the results of our election, we know in our bodies and souls that this mob storming the Capitol was not acting in the interest of our democracy, but in the mistaken belief that their way of life and their values should prevail even at the sacrifice of democracy. Like the Israelites of Egypt, who no longer recognized Mitzrayim, we strain to see in this America our ideals and the reality we thought we once knew. The America our ancestors came to, the golden Medina, or the country that offered opportunity and we came to adopt as our own. It is a land of liberty that we love. It is a land of democracy we love. It is a land of opportunity and justice for all. A home, for the most part, where we have lived largely in peace and prosperity during our lifetimes. But in our emotional turmoil, we also must remember, as avid readers of Torah, that slavery in Mitzrayim is but a moment. But a moment. Right now in our Torah lives, we as slaves are mired in degradation. We can't even fathom that there will be a prince of Egypt who will save us, who will lead us to freedom, ultimately to a promised land. We're stuck in the narrow straits. And right now, in our own lives in America, we might doubt that justice will prevail. We might doubt that the next few days will see us safe. We might doubt that the next administration can reunite this divided country and calm the storm. And we ask questions, so many questions, with so many unclear answers. Even if wrongs are righted, like the Capitol building that will surely be repaired, what of our souls? How could this happen? How could this not have been stopped? How can we fix what is wrong? These are liminal days. We are in Mitzrayim, literally a place between narrow straits. We struggle to see beyond to a time when things are better. But next week and the week after, our Torah portion speaks of how we will emerge from the degradation of slavery to the joy of redemption. It won't be easy. There'll be trials and tribulations along the way. Moses' miracles will be belittled in the palace of Pharaoh. Pharaoh will say no. Pharaoh's heart will be hardened. Plagues will fall upon Egypt, and we will doubt. We will act uncertain of what the future holds. But better days are ahead. They will be made real through God's will and our actions. Our Torah teaches that redemption will come if we work at it. And we Jews, we've always clung to this arc of history that darkness gives way to dawn, that a closed Reed Sea passage, blocked by vermin and snakes and a pursuing army, tells apart, revealing a path into a new future. Know that the path to those renewed moments is never straightforward. There'll be pushback. There'll be setbacks. There will be those who are reluctant on the journey and will want to go back. But there will also be highlights, revelations on mountaintops, water in miraculous wells, and manna that falls from heaven. Slowly, slowly. It was 40 years in the Torah, right? We will, with God's help and our own determination, reach a promised land, a better time when democracy and freedom and justice ring clearly throughout this land. I don't have answers as to how this will eventuate in what I share tonight. You don't have the answers, and neither do the media pundits, and neither do our politicians. We scramble together to make sense of it all. The way ahead won't be clear. It's going to be messy, but it is ahead. Right now, I wrestle as your rabbi, as an American. We all struggle for the words that befit this moment. This is a time of feeling. The promised land seems distant. And our tradition teaches at such times when we don't have the kavanah, the inspiration, we look to the keva, the fixed words of prayer to guide us and provide a beacon for our future. Our movement through the Central Conference of American Rabbis has just published beautiful new prayers for our country. And at this moment of emotion, of feeling, of beyond words, when I reach to find the balm for you, the best thing I can do is pray with you. These new words of Keva, a new prayer for our country composed by Rabbi Rachel Bierman, a hope for our land to fulfill its promise. God bless you, America, the shelter that our ancestors sought when their children were threatened by state-sponsored persecution. God bless you, America, the beloved home of those who have belonged to this land for unknowable amounts of time, the country of endless migration waves and very short memories. America, the beautiful, the painful, the powerful. You have never been anything that we wished you would be, but your shortcomings will not keep us from trying to make you more just, more kind, more true. On this Shabbat, we pray that you will be blessed with leaders who will strive to serve your people, with voters who will use their power to make your future brighter, with activists who will continue to pursue your ideals, and with citizens whose hearts will be big enough to care for all people, from sea to shining sea. God bless you, America, and may you bless all those in your embrace. Amen. we continue our service with the Aleinu. Let me highlight Rose again. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
The mourner who recites the Kaddish feels an instinctive solace and release in the act, as though for the moment they are stretching their hand to the far shore and touching the hand of the departed. The Kaddish does that and more. It joins us to our people. It adjusts our perspective. It reassures us with a promise of inner peace. It summons us to labor for a better world. The Kaddish itself has acquired a quality of immortality. It's a gracious way to honor the dead and to ennoble the living. On this Shabbat, we are remembering those who recently departed. George Rothstein, a member of our congregation. David S. White, brother of Elaine Laub. Henry Stern, husband of Ruth Stern. And at the time of their yahrzeits, we recall Sophie Barkan, Art Barnes, H. Paul Bierman, Eleanor Bell, Albert Bennett, William Berman, Evelyn Blank, Ruth Blinder, Adam Brandt, Milton Brill, Samuel E. Broider, Robert Louis Brown, Belle Cohen, Nathan Eidelman, Ida Estrin, Sylvia Gildar, Irving R. Goodman, Jason Green, Charlie Guthrie, Helen Harris, Jacqueline Hoffman, Harry Castor, Martin Kaufman, Ben Kay, Milton Chrisman, Molly Laser, Rose Levine, Francis Butter Levy, Archie Liu, Francis Mandel, Ruby Nash, May Rice, Florence Robinson, Lillian Robinson, Philip Rudnick, Michael Siegel, Ruth Shimonsky, Seymour Spanglet, Pauline Stein, Frank Tobin, Rita Weinstein, Sydney Weinstein, Theodore Westheimer, Kitty Wolfe, Faye Yanis, Morris Ziplow, Martin Ziporkin, and Ron Zolotoro. If it is your custom, I invite you to rise for Kaddish on the next slide. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yama divrach hirutei v'yamlich machutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, bagala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ah v'tromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brechu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace, may it give peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved among us. And we say, Amen. I'd like to invite our new president, Avi Seiner, and welcome him to the presidency to share with us some announcements.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. First, I want to thank the Rabbi for an inspiring sermon, and the cantor for filling in so wonderfully. I just have a few announcements, but I have one simple sentence to say. The only way we're going to make the world better is by doing it ourselves. Tikkun Olam. That is the answer for each and every one of us. I leave it to you. Meanwhile, for our announcements, there will be Lunch and Learn on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Also, the Sisterhood has its book club. Also on Wednesday. Let's see times. Let's see. The Sisterhood book club is at 1. Oh no, Lunch and Learn, where is that? Oh, here it is. This is 1 to 2 p.m. That's on Thursday. Let's see, on January 19th, the Sisterhood has festivals from around the world. And on Friday, we have a service, the 22nd, we have a service. All of this will be, emails will be sent to you giving the Zoom addresses and how to get there and what it's all about. Plus, given the uncertainty, to say the least, of what's going on, you're likely to get what you call pop-up announcements of other things that will be happening. The Union of Reform Judaism has issued prayers, may have meetings. OMI may have meetings. When any of this happens, all of it will be made known to you through Zoom. That's it. Shabbat Shalom, and let's hope the next week is much better than this one.
Thank you. And welcome, Ozzy, as our new president. It is wonderful to have you on board. Let me spotlight every rose for everybody so that we can see what it looks like in Brooklyn today on this Shabbat. Our final song is a beautiful one by a friend of Rose and a friend of mine, Alana Ariane, Gesher Tzama'od.
You'll know the words. But it might be a new melody, but it's very catchy. It's very repetitive. And you'll catch on. I hope you'll sing along. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side of fear. That repeats, sing it with me. Kol ha'olam kulo, kol ha'olam kulo, gesher tzar, gesher tzar me'od. V'haikar, v'haikar, v'lefachek la. Olam, but for now we're gonna sing Kol Olam. Kol Olam Kulo, Kol Olam Kulo, Gesher Tzar, Gesher Tzar Me'od, V'ha'ikar, 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 V'lifachet Kol, V'ha'ikar, V'ha'ikar, V'lifachet Kol. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side of fear. Kol Haolam Kulo, join me. Kol Haolam Kulo, Kol Haolam Kulo, Gesher Tzar Me'od, Kol Haolam Kulo, Kol Haolam Kulo, Kol Haolam Kulo, Gesher Tzar Me'od.
A big thank you to Rose for joining us this Shabbat. You will see her at our oneg. And of course, we cannot leave our Shabbat service without saying Mazal Tov to our soon-to-be cantor Stephanie Weishar, who will be back in our community for the next service, who gets ordained this weekend. May her celebrations be amazing. I know we have all been invited, so I hope that you will watch the ceremony and rejoice with her at her simcha. I look forward to seeing you all at our oneg Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.